I got everybody.
Hi, we're sorry we're late. We had a couple tech difficulties and it was just a stupid thing. If I didn't know better, I'd say that maybe Mercury was retrograde, but I really
it's
can't.
not.
Yeah, so sorry about that, but here we are.
Oh, goodness. Too bad you couldn't see that, but Sonny just did a big stretch
You
across
still
the
won't because
table.
he's not quite in the camera view
No,
there,
he's
so.
not in camera view, but,
Hi, everybody.
oh,
Welcome to TFT. Banshee wants you to see her pretty pastries.
my baked goods. I had to bake for an event this week, and let's just say they turned out great. Santa's kept some for us here. Welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
Who's got the cold shirt, me or her?
I'm dressed for the sea. Well,
Masonic says somebody has a cold shirt. Hi, Jay. Hi, everybody.
I think it's yours. Yours is definitely the coolest.
God,
Okay.
well, after all of that drama, I almost need some of this, but I'm going to try to wait.
Wait for the sugar. I think you're
for
stressed
the
enough.
sugar.
Yeah. So we made it. And it's 12/12, which is supposed to be a very, lucky or good fortunate day. And as a matter of fact, we drew the 9 of Cups for the tarot for tomorrow for today.
That's right. We pulled that last night, and that was posted on Twitter and Facebook as the card of the day.
And then the ironic thing was, before I went to work, I was tweeting with some people on Twitter, and we were talking about luck, or the lottery, and how you have to, that it's you lose more than you win. You got to be ready to lose. And I commented and said, yes, that's absolutely true. And then I go to the lottery store and I promptly win $50. So I was very happy with that. And then I went back to the store later, and I won 50 more.
If you don't play, you can't win.
Well, but that is not a license.
You're consistent.
No, but that's not a license to get out of control. And I do plan this well. As a matter of fact, what I spent the money on this morning for tickets was winnings from a previous day. So I didn't even spend my own, I spent my own money, but it was winnings. So be smart if you gamble. But at any rate, it was just to say 12/12 has worked out pretty nicely for me. So anyway, Mr. O.
I'm not sure if I understand that, Josephine, but it sounds interesting. Weightlifting fairy Kim Bak Ju. However, though 1% of something is also filled with sweet and bubbly moments.
I am going to move some of our Christmassy stuff or holiday stuff. I don't know about this, so I got to watch it with Sunny. I think I will move it for now. And if you want one, Mr. O, you can just
let you know.
Page me.
Well, I don't think we have any special announcements right at the moment. We might get to them in a few. We just should probably get started, eh?
We should, but I seem to be, believe it or not,
Uh-oh.
missing my readings again.
And you just found them.
Because of all the confusion. Well, we can get started. I'm going to tell you guys, who I have on the list first, and I might make a quick run just to see if I can find them. Okay. So Balkis was first. Tana will be next. Masonic E, Josephine, and then Jay. And I think that was everybody.
Somebody just showed up. Jakari.
Jakari's here. Okay, Jakari, hi. I will add you to the list. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are the 6th person on the list, Jakari. If you'd like a reading tonight. There they are. They fell. Okay.
Yeah, we do our readings in order, and we have found in the last several sessions that we're having a little bit of a challenge keeping everybody in order, so we apologize when we have inadvertently missed somebody. We did that once or twice now, so we're hoping to get better.
And also, this is just a reminder, we know the list gets big and you might be way down on the list, but sometimes people come and go. And if they come and go at the wrong time, we're going to have to pass you and we're going to have to go to the next person on the list. It's only fair. We will put that name at the bottom of the list, but then you will be moved to the bottom.
And thank you, Jakari, for subscribing. Appreciate that.
Thank you much. We really appreciate it. Also, I want to give one more news item, though, before we get started. We have been doing all these Brexit readings for Great Britain and the UK. We had been doing them videotaped, and they're on our page. They've been getting a lot of views from people in the UK, and if anybody's there from the UK, I thank you for that. And I know it's been of monumental concern. we didn't want to take sides in this at all. We just wanted to see what the tarot said. And actually, I think our last reading was right again, and it was about the election tonight. From what I'm hearing on news reports, it looks like our reading was correct. I don't want to give anything away. Check out that last video, Brexit, the Final Countdown, and you'll see more. It's not very long, is it?
It's 5 minutes, maybe something like that.
Maybe six, yes, 5 to 8 minutes at most. It's very
Most of
short
these
readings.
Brexits are not very long. I think the longest one was
about 20 minutes, I
and
think, yeah.
all the others are under 10.
Yeah. So anybody coming after Jakari? Okay, no. So we're going to get started. What deck are you reading with today, Mr. O?
Well, today I'm going to go back to reading with the Dame Fortune deck, the deck by Paul Hewson. It's a nice deck. There's the Eight of Swords, which is a little bit different from most of the Rider Waite deride ones. Thank you, Jakari. That's actually a cloth that's imprinted with those tarot cards on that, and we got that from.
Oh yeah, I don't know where.
Was it Marchetti? No, it wasn't that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We got it from somewhere online. But yeah, we did like it because it's got two nice images, and then we occasionally rotate some other ones in there.
Okay, so
What do you got?
well, I've got a couple things today. I noticed that Mermaid Dreams is not here yet. I found my Mermaid's Tarot, if she does show up, which is all mermaid images. It's not very wintry, but, hey. Oh, look at this is the Ace of Cups, and it's a seashell. I like that. So a little bit of water energy here with this deck. And also, I have my other Ciro Marchetti deck that's my favorite, the Tarot of Dreams. And just because the images on them are so beautiful and expressive, especially the people cards like the King of Coins there. So that's what we'll be reading with today. This is a U.S. Games deck, by the way. And also, I'll be throwing some Lenormand cards.
Mermaids.
Well, if you want the mermaids, let me know. I may
just
have
say
to give
so.
them a really good shuffle because they look close to being in order. I know I've used that deck before, so I'm kind of, I don't know if I
Let me add 'em.
reordered them for some
Okay,
reason.
so let's get started then.
Pagan Lenormand is the deck
Oh,
I'm using
She's
for
got more to show.
the Lenormand. I'm sorry, I like to show the decks because we like to promote them. Okay.
Very good.
All right, Balkus, what is your question for us? General love reading, I see. Your deck first, I take it, Mr. O?
Okay, Balkus, how are you doing? Shuffling those. And how are we doing this reading? General love reading?
Is this just a general reading? So let's throw 3 cards. I don't need the spreads for this. We'll just see what it says.
And here you go. To shuffle.
Our cat is out of camera view today.
He's really snoozers. He's just
Yeah.
like passed out here.
Actually, he's got his eyes open, but he looks like he's in dreamland.
Yeah, he's not quite. Well, it is in the evening for us. It's 7 o'clock in
Right.
the evening. It's winter time, so it's dark. Oh, he's
can
curling
see a
around. He
paw.
heard us. There we go.
There goes the sunny cam.
The sunny cam is being deployed now.
While I shuffle.
And there he is. He's the actual star of our show, you know. Well, okay, maybe not really. Anyway.
I haven't taught him to do tarot yet, so.
Okay, so our 3 cards. Ace of Coins, reversed Wheel of Fortune, and reversed Six of Swords. So the Ace of Coins is the first card. Nice little hand offering the Ace of Coins. And that says that maybe there is something new coming. It may not have strong romantic energies, but it is the beginning of some sort of enterprise. Well, not really an enterprise so much as maybe material thing changing or coming into view. But I see the reverse Wheel of Fortune, and so maybe that indicates that there is some up and down emotionally, romantically. Like maybe sometimes you feel like you're lucky and then you're not really lucky, and or you feel like, gee, I'm always lucky. Unlucky, when am I going to be lucky in love, or that kind of thing. And then we have the Six of Swords also reversed. And that card tells me that also, too, if you are trying to escape a previous relationship and the emotional currents that it brought, you may be finding that difficult. Like maybe either something is sort of keeping you there or you're not able to totally get it away from your mind. You know, it's just kind of there. You haven't resolved it.
Am I up?
You're up. You could have jumped in any time, you know.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry. You were going quite well. So basically, the Ace of Coins or Pentacles to me is really almost the complete opposite of the Six of Swords reversed. So I'm confused about it. And then you have the topsy-turvy Wheel of Fortune, Balkus. So I'm not saying it looks the greatest, but the Ace of Coins does seem to indicate that, you know, there's an opportunity of some sort coming that could be growthful in time. I think nothing is happening immediately in the love department, but something is going to happen in time. And it seems to me, like I said, that there is at the moment kind of a standstill and non-movement, whether it's because, like Oberon suggested, that, you know, you might be there may be some previous relationship involved.
Something is hanging you to that. Yeah.
Something is hanging and holding you back, your progress in this regard. And the Wheel of Fortune is just saying, you know, fortune's not on your side right at this time, but, you know, the wheel is a transient thing and it flows and moves. And me as a lottery player knows that, you know, you can be up one moment and you can crash the next. So,
well, I'm getting a little glimmer here too. Like I'm thinking, like, I don't know if you are employed and you like your employment. I get the feeling like either you're going to change employment or maybe something will change within your employment, and maybe that opportunity could lead to meeting somebody who you might like. But there still is that kind of pull from the past about some emotionality that you're having problem resolving.
Hi, Miss Tiana. I have you on the list. After Balkus, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people before you after the reading we're doing now.
Okay.
So but we're almost finished. We're gonna throw some Lenormand here and see what
So
else
that's
we
what
can
the
tell
tarot
about.
said, and now Banshee will pull some Lenormand.
Well, I think, okay, you have the moon, and actually the first card I picked was the book. And I think that key, you know, something that's going to be very, very important is knowledge that may be hidden from you, I think is going to come to the surface. I'm not sure what this has to do with this, you know, with your love situation, but it seems as though something is going to be revealed that is going to, maybe it's going to make it easier for you to move forward.
This is the moon?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Both of these, in a way, are each their own card of illumination, enlightenment. So it does seem to me like maybe there's a secret in the offing or something intuitive. Maybe it comes to you through a dream or through some other imagery that just you're going to find out, because that's what the book is about. And it will be illuminating. I'm thinking this is probably a couple of months from now, 2 to 3 months maybe. Things will pick up.
I do think it's a little bit of time, unfortunately, the way the cards have fallen today. I hope that helps you a little bit, Balkus. And we're going to move on to Tana. Hey, Tana, you got in second today.
Hi, Tana.
Give my cards a little shuffle.
Okay.
In the next 3 months. Okay, what do you need to know about the relationship? Okay. Well, I guess let's do a yes-no first.
You're welcome, Balkus.
Let's do a yes-no first. And you know what? When we're reading those cards, let's shuffle. Let me pull a deck, because maybe we can throw a couple real quick about what she needs to know. But let's see if this relationship is actually going to happen in the 3 months. So I think that's why we need to do a yes-no on this, because I don't know what to tell you about a relationship if it says no.
Nightbot, we thank you. You are an automatic little service that was set up to us by our wonderful producer, Mr. Monster, who occasionally lurks in the chat room and helps us out. He's our most wonderful producer and child.
Only child.
Although he is over 35,
Yes.
so, but you know, he will
He's
always
still our baby.
be my little boy.
Oh boy, if he's listening, he's probably cracking up.
Okay, way over there on that wall, there's a picture of us when we were all younger.
Oh my goodness,
Banshee's
is it on
wearing
there?
the red dress.
You're getting the light in the
I
picture
know,
a little
so,
bit.
yes.
Yeah.
So Weird Bot has just
Weird.
Weird Cam.
The weird cam. And that's
Hi,
like a
Tina.
messy wall anyway. Why are you
Okay.
showing our cluttered... Oh, your Dark Shadows collection is there of
Yeah.
videos.
It's all there, folks.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm taking my time.
I like to tell people that I'm a humorless socialist, but actually I have a lot of humor, and I'm not really a socialist, but I kind of believe in some
Hey,
socialist
Vicky.
things.
Hey, how
Hi,
you
Vicky.
doing? We're adding you right to the list. It's got a little length to it, so be patient with us. But you're under 10. You are 7th on the list, Vicky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we're working on number 2 right now.
And repeat the question for our audience.
The question was, will there be a potential relationship partner in the next 3 months? If so, what do they need to know about the
I
relationship?
might have did this one too many.
All right. It's better safe than sorry.
Nope, I was right. Okay, well.
Well, that's interesting. Let's see what you get. Well, I don't know that we need these. And there's some interesting things that came up in this reading, Tana. It's leaning towards no for 3 months. You do have the Ace of Pentacles, which is nice. You have the Knight of Swords reversed, and you have the Queen of Wands upright. This is really interesting to me because it looks as though here are 2 people right here. One could be representative of yourself, you know, a strong, powerful person. The Queen of Wands, perhaps. The Knight of Swords indicates what to you?
Well, it's kind of interesting
Yeah, it
to me
is.
because the basic answer does look like it's leaning more towards no.
But doesn't it look like
but-
there's a relationship there?
But it seems like I always like the way the cards may look, you know, and so with them, you know, sort of being in this one reverse towards the Queen of Wands, it sort of to me is like the opposition. So, or not the opposition, but opposing forces of some sort or energies.
And Wands and Swords too. That's some, yeah.
Well, they're
I won't say clashing
they're
energy.
fire and
but-
air, so they
Yes.
tend to be more compatible
true.
than they would with either earth or water. But I think what the Knight of Swords represents is maybe somebody who just is a little unlight on their feet, and they overreact, and maybe they're a little clumsy or something like that. That they might barge into a situation and then just cause some turmoil rather than cause anything good to happen.
And they're not.
That's not you, by the way. That is not you.
And to me, I don't know. They're not necessarily very responsible. I would look at it that way too.
Hi, Vicky.
So I would just say, you know, it's leaning towards no, but maybe what it's saying is there could be a relationship, but it would not necessarily be a very good one.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything favoring there at all.
Right. So I might suggest letting 3 months pass.
Yeah, I am actually thinking you are that Queen of Wands. Did you tell us before you were Leo or Aries, one of the 2 fire signs? Or you have that kind of energy?
Let me pull
All
some
right.
Lenormand for you, Tana. See what comes out of that.
Sunny.
She's Leo. You caught that, right?
Yes, I see that. Thank you.
So the first thing I pull is the Path card. And the second card I pull is the Key. And so I think what it's trying to say is that you're going to have to really carve your own niche here. In other words, as far as a relationship goes, I think you're going to have maybe some choices ahead to make. Yeah, what the future might be holding, and I'm still thinking it's going to be after 3 months, is that there may be more than one choice here in a person coming your way.
Yeah, and I think like the only thing I get from Lenormand is usually what the symbols might tell me, and I just see like you're on a road. It's a road that does lead somewhere.
It's forked.
But it seems like there's going to be more than one choice involved. But at some point, though, the key sort of says what you need to unlock and go further to actually move into the entry point will present itself. So it's a matter of following the road and waiting a little bit. I guess it's just saying not immediately. So I would say, whoa.
Uh-oh.
We just had a casualty with the cam.
The cat stretched
Knocked it
a
over.
little
Whoops.
too far.
You're welcome. But yeah, so we're not seeing anything in the immediate, and we would just say, like, kind of take it cool. The next person or two you meet may sort of be oppositional is possible.
Right. And
Yeah.
so also I think getting the key card with the path indicates to me that, the decisions you make with these relationships are important ones, upcoming and sometime into 2020. And so be sure you're making the decisions that are right for you. It's going to be really important to choose wisely.
And Brittany has joined us. Hi, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany, welcome.
We can add you to the list if
We
you're
will
seeking a
add
reading.
you to the list. I will read the names in a second. We just finished Tana. And Masonic, you're
And
up.
you are welcome.
Masonic, you are up. And after Masonic is going to be Josephine, Jay, Jakari, Missiana, Vicky, and Brittany.
Hello to everyone once again, and hello to our newest person. Thank you. All right, so we're waiting on Masonic. There you are. Okay, so besides that, what are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, what do
kind
you
of
need, Masonic?
reading would you like to have?
Good to see you here.
The cam seems to be...
Oh, general life. Okay.
General life reading. Okay, the cam seems to be stable for the moment. Right?
It's so close, so close.
Okay, a general
Oh,
life
you want the
reading.
mermaid cards?
Ah,
I will get them.
mermaids. Mermaids.
Except why are they mixed up? Hold
Do you
on
want
a
them
minute.
mixed up?
No, they were
Oh.
put together wrong. Okay. I do not want them. I want them mixed up and shuffled well. Okay.
He just knows it too. It's like he knows. He knows. Like,
I don't know that he knows that. But I do know he gets angry sometimes when I shuffle the cards because the wind hits him from the shuffle.
oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, look, he closed his eye there.
cute.
Sorry, we're bantering a bit tonight here to ourselves.
And I've wobbled the camera a little bit, so I'll have to adjust it. Seems to be slightly messed. Okay, so today we are wallowing with the mermaids or winnowing with them or something. I don't know. It is a pretty little deck. It's one of the Los Scarabos, isn't it?
Yes, it is,
Yes,
as a
okay.
matter of fact. So it's a Llewellyn Los Scarabo deck.
Right, and as best as I can tell, the Los Scarabos are sort of like they were contracted through Llewellyn, and it was apparently...
There's some relationship.
Yeah,
I can't
it's a
say.
stable
Yeah, I'm
of
not sure.
European type artists who do some really nice work, several of them at least, and maybe it's expanded beyond that because I know that one of them did the Santa Muerte Tarot, which is a fabulous deck, very colorful. All right, I think these are shuffled up enough. We're doing our general life with mermaids. And I'm going to work on this cam because it's sort of wobbly for some reason. I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, hey, there's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad here, Masonic, but really mostly good stuff right now. I see the Ace of Cups here for you. Look at that nice shell. The water, I think I showed that one in the beginning, and it's
Oh,
upright.
that's pretty, yeah.
It's beautiful. And this is a very softly colored deck.
Yeah, sort of muted.
Sort of watery. So it's the World. This card is the World card, and guess what? It's upright. But another card that's upright is not something you always want to see upright. It is the Ten of Wands upright. So basically what I'm seeing right now is that there are a lot of burdens you're experiencing at this time, maybe some hardships even, and you've been feeling really weighed down by them. So that's why I was showing the Ten of, that's pretty much what the Ten of Wands is all about. And you just wish, it's almost like maybe you need to ask for some help or assistance with something that's just been very, very difficult to handle. But I don't want you to worry too much because it looks like the tide is changing a little bit. There's the start of a time here where happiness and joy, you're going to start feeling a whole turnaround in your attitude and your feelings. Maybe even a new relationship might be on the horizon. Something that's going to really uplift you and make you happy. And it could be some success that you have. I don't know if you're in school or working, but this is some real nice success coming your way soon and completion of something. So if you're, for example, in school and you're working on a degree, maybe the end is finally going to be in sight. Or, any other thing in your life you might be working on. Yeah, I did say the Ten of Wands.
Oh, it sounded to me like you said that it was the Ten of Swords, maybe.
No, I said the Ten of Wands because I was talking about the burdens.
Okay, so I'm not understanding the comment then.
Oh, arrows in my back. Yeah, see, that's not
not
the
really
arrows
what it
in the
is,
back.
no.
Those are wands. And if I said swords, I didn't mean to.
This is more about burdens or things,
Yeah.
obligations.
He's actually holding these. They are not in his back. You're not being stabbed in the back this time, Masonic. This is
it's our camera.
yeah, this is just an incredibly heavy load that you're carrying right now. And a load of either emotional baggage or physical baggage of some sort.
But to me, though, the goal is resolving and perfection. And so the thing is that if one learns how to bear this obligation, the world will literally unfold.
Okay.
And also, some really
Something
pleasant
new
happening.
and happy.
Yeah,
Some great
happy.
joy is coming. So I think, if you're going through a rough time right now, like you might be indicating here, I think there's going to be a shift and a change, and it's positive, but also it's indicative on you to make that happen, not give up, hang in there and see your way through this because the end result's looking pretty good.
All right.
I'm going to do a Lenormand for you, Masonic.
And Brittany wants to have the mermaid deck too.
Okay. I guess it's going to be the popular one for the day. I brought it out because Mermaid Dreams
Will it be as popular as my Egyptian tarot?
has been joining us, but I don't know that she joins us on Thursdays, so I just took a chance and brought it down. I think I have some other kind of Mermaid Oracle deck as well. There's a number of things out there that are water related, which are kind of nice. Are you shaking hands with the man? Okay. Let's see, Masonic. Oh, it's those darn mice and the path, Okay. So we got the mice. Never a happy thing to see because the mice is struggling, problems, sometimes a little bit of ill health.
It's neediness.
It's neediness of some sort. And then it's the path. And so I think what this is telling me in this case is, because things have been rather difficult and stressful at this time, that it's been hard to see a way forward. It's been hard to make decisions. It's been hard to choose the right thing to do. And hopefully, like I said with the tarot, I think this is just picking up, Masonic, what's happening right now. I think the tarot is showing us kind of what the cycle is leading towards. So I do think you have something better to look forward to. Don't take these two cards that I pulled as the end result. They're not.
Right. I think what it shows too is that possibly that is one of your choices, of course, is to continue to be a little bit more grubby in the sense of worrying about too many things, or to try to move beyond the worries and just, see it for what it is, which is that it is something that you're obliged to bear at this time, but it's not always going to be that way.
Right.
And we would welcome you to come back and ask us more questions, or we'll check into more about that. I don't think this is very static either, at all.
No, well, nothing in life is,
No,
I think
no.
that it is up to us.
Thank you.
It's really funny because somebody on Twitter today was tweeting away and talking about, you can do affirmations, you can meditate, you can throw your cards, all these things. But if you don't actually do something to make those changes happen, are they really going to happen? So let the tarot guide you, let these things guide you. But by all means, we have to work for our success. I don't win the $100 in the lottery if I don't play a ticket.
We appreciate your comments too, Masonic. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Masonic. I appreciate it. And good luck and hang in there.
All right,
Everything
moving
is
on.
temporary. Hey, Josephine, you are up.
And do you want to continue using Mermaid?
Well, we could use, I don't know. We'll see if Josephine has a preference. How about my
You're
Tarot
welcome.
of Dreams?
Oh, you have that one too.
I have that
I
one
only
too.
have that.
You have the
this
one today?
really. Yeah.
Well, we'll go back to yours. We'll do the Tarot of Dreams this time. Josephine, write down your question now, my friend.
Or did you mention it earlier? Let's see if it's here. But we want to make sure you're in the room with us.
I'll give you a couple more minutes, Josephine. And so as we've mentioned, we have to give people X amount of time, and then we move on and we have to put the person at the bottom of the list. It happens. Okay, Josephine, I'm giving you a last call. Oh, I was afraid Sonny was going to give a butt shot there. I don't know if he did. Okay, Josephine.
Masonic, do you see that they're in the room there? I can't really see that they are. It's hard for me to tell.
They have not been talking for a while, so it's possibly they have left.
Right, it has been a while, so we do have 9 watching.
Yeah, so it's 7-11, I think, is the last time. So I think we're going to move on from Josephine. So see how this works? I'm going to put Josephine at the bottom now.
Okay, Vicky, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Vicky. And you are on the list. Don't worry. We're passing Josephine, and we're going to read for Jay. Hey, Mr. J.
Jay, we're hoping that you're here.
I hope I'm not dreading this,
And,
asking this.
one
But
of
what
your
is your
wonderful
question
questions.
tonight?
Okay, and does that sound like a mermaid question?
Would you like the mermaid deck, Jay, or some other deck?
I also have this one, which I've read for Kelly. It's more for gay men, but it's not exclusively about romantic things, so I could use it as a general reading.
It doesn't
All right, it doesn't
matter.
matter. So
Well, I'm using my Tarot
there
of
we go.
Dreams. We'll go with that one. It's got some beautiful imagery. And let's see. So, makeup. All right. Shuffle. I guess that's a yes-no. And we'll pull some other cards to see if there's, of course, the Lenormand to see what it can add. Well, so we've been busy. We have been crazy busy. I've been trying to get it together to get more content together for our videos and whatnot, but
Oh, I thought you meant having me make lasagna for your party at work.
he made a wonderful spinach lasagna that just disappeared. And of course, I made the sugary treats. I made snickerdoodle blondie bars and something called frosted sugar cookie bars. They were very good. Do you
All
want
right.
one yet, Mr.
Not
L?
yet.
Okay.
Okay, you put the cut back together?
I did indeed, and I'm going to count them up.
Alrighty, here we go, Jay.
Wait, or did you shuffle?
I did,
You
and then I
did.
cut them.
All right. Wow. Well, Jay, it's not a definite yes, but it's pretty darn close.
It's close to yes, yeah.
You have the Ace of Wands upright. You have the beautiful in this deck, Ace of Cups upright. And you have the Six of Wands. And a lot of fire energy here for sure. A little bit of fire, and a little bit of water. And it's definitely saying most likely yes, because the Six of Wands is a card of victory. So it's like it's a win. Sounds like it's a win to give it a try.
Well, if you think of makeup as being something that either, depending on how you look at it, either it enhances your looks or it really changes your looks. If it changes
right.
your looks, then is it a mask? Is it a disguise? What is it then? So that's the question to me. To me, the Six of Wands talks about victory, and in a way, that's a mask of its own too, creating the semblance or the paradigm or the mindset of victorious. And anything about wands is always a little bit bolder, and maybe that's the idea about makeup too, being bold. So yes.
Snickerdoodle. Well, I don't know actually, because we're not English, we're US, but what would it be?
Well, they are kind of like a sugar cookie
they're
with
a sugar-
heavy cinnamon.
They're sort of a sugar cookie. There's like this is not a traditional snickerdoodle. A snickerdoodle cookie has something called cream of tartar. It's a powder that you put in it, and that kind of makes it different. But these snickerdoodle bars did not have the cream of tartar. So in a sense, they are a little sugar cookie-like, and there's cinnamon on them, and they're wonderful. They're just, and inside and out, wonderful.
The lasagna is my recipe I've been doing for like 40 some years, and over many years I found out like don't use frozen spinach, don't use canned spinach, too much water, too liquidy, and I have a pretty good recipe, and I either make a spinach lasagna or I also make a beef one. They're both really good. Sometimes people can't really tell the difference.
It's a real odd combination for the question you asked, Jay. I've got the anchor and I've got the tower. And usually the tower is indicative of institutions. And so I would think, you know what this is maybe telling me? Is that maybe if you do the makeup thing, you should go to some professional and get some advice. Because the tower is kind of like an institution and the anchor is kind of about stability and stableness. So I'm thinking maybe what it's saying is get the advice of somebody who really knows makeup well and what would really work for you the best, and then run with it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about makeup, but I do have the sense of it that that's probably true, Banshee, that basically it is a science of its own. And so if you're wearing to impress, if you're dressing to impress, then you probably do need to have some education about it, which maybe you can do on your own. You don't necessarily have to talk to an expert. You could go to a local library and look up cosmetology books and check that out too. And of course, it's a whole science, like I said. So there's a whole procedural thing about different complexions and, different things like that. So yeah, just, do it right.
Well, Vicky, it is yummy, and those bars actually came from a website, and I'm going to give you the name of that website. If you want some really decadent, and a lot of them are pretty easy desserts, but some are a little bit more work, go to Sally, and that's S as in Sam, ALLYS, so it's Sally's bakingaddiction.com, all one word. And she has amazing recipes. Most of the recipes I
welcome,
make
Jay.
of hers come out great. So,
Well, we hope that gives you some ideas about your makeup too.
yeah, Jay, that was a very cool, interesting question. Glad we could help with that.
Someday, maybe we'll be able to have virtual lasagna somehow. I think I'll stick to real lasagna for now. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself, I have to admit. And the pan was nearly emptied, so yeah, lasagna's good.
Oh my goodness, they really gobbled it up. They gobbled up about a portion of mine, and then I took them to my workplace after, and they ate a lot there. So we had very little left.
I would probably like the zucchini and yellow squash lasagna.
Hey, Jakari, you're next if you're in the room, so feel free to write your question.
All right, moving on to Chikari.
So Jakari's next, then Miss Yana, Vicky, and Brittany, then Josephine if she comes back. Whoops, Sunny is back and taking up all my space as usual. Okay, Jakari. So do you have any announcements, by the way, Mr. O?
Well, I'll just do our typical announcements. Our schedule is 7 to 9 on Thursday nights, like tonight, Eastern Standard Time. This Sunday, although our normal schedule is 2 to 4 Eastern Standard Time, I have a prior engagement. It's called work. And I will be there during that time period, but we are going to live stream later on Sunday night. So we actually are changing our schedule. And on Sunday, we will be here from 7 to 9 p.m., just like tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So we apologize for that for anybody. We know that there's a few folks that, because of their proximity around the globe, it's
they
more
will miss
convenient
us.
to watch us at that time. Well, they'll have to either catch us some other time or check us out on the YouTube. But that's what we're doing there.
Sunny has a human face. Well, he has a very expressive face for sure. He
And
does.
we do a reading for every day, a one-card reading for our entire audience, and that's over on our Facebook page and our Twitter page. So you can go there. You can leave us messages there too if you wish. Facebook takes a message.
Jakari is not answering, so we are going to go on to Miss Yana.
Okay, yes, we do have to move along. So, Miss Yana, if you're still with us.
I put Jakari at the end. Miss Yana. It does look like the chat numbers went down a little bit.
Yeah,
so
they've
people
dropped
might
a
have...
couple persons, so
Yeah.
I guess we've been making too much annoying patter, eh?
I don't know. I thought we were entertaining. Maybe not tonight as much. Off night.
we're
You know,
not?
having to work all day sometimes does drain.
Yes,
Yes.
Miss Yana, you are next.
You are next because we've had somebody leave the chat apparently.
2 people, actually.
Yeah.
All right, so if you have a question or if you just a request for a general type of reading, go right ahead.
He did it again. He batted at the screen.
It's changed around a couple times, so he's probably seen that too. But yeah, he's a silly little guy. What are Lewis' feelings for you? All
Okay.
right. Shall we do my deck here?
Sure. It's right now.
You're fighting off the cat
I'm
there.
fighting off the cat. Oh, all right. No.
Lewis' feelings.
All right, that's it. The fun time's over, Mr. Kitty.
Are you ready to shuffle?
No.
Well, you have to be ready.
I'm trying to move stuff. And I'm going to have to move my tablet because he's just not cooperating. There. I just had to slide him over a little bit. No, don't. Oh, I see. You know, if I slide him one way, he's too close to the camera. If he gets too close this way, he messes everything up. We can't win with him. He's a big guy.
I'll have to ask our producer because I'm getting a little weird light down there in the box. But
Oh,
it seems like it's normal, but it just turns this other color once in a while, and then it turns back.
well, I don't know.
But
I
it
have.
looks like it's moving along, so
All right.
we're fine, I guess. We'll see.
Well, that
We'll
might
play it.
affect the video later. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe it's dropping a couple frames here or there.
Yeah, we might have. Well, our computer is on its last legs. We're hoping to make it
reinvest in a computer next year.
through the new year. All right. So let's throw 3 and see what we have.
All right. The 3 of coins. The reversed female pope or Isis, the high priestess. And then the upright 7 of cups. 3 of coins. Did you want to say anything?
No,
Okay, this is about another person's feelings for you.
not yet.
And then the reversed high priestess. And then the 7 of cups. So I get the feeling like they have a lot of variation in what they feel, and that they're not entirely true, or they're not entirely feeling for sure themselves how they feel possibly about you.
Well, I'm thinking that the 7 of Cups might also indicate that maybe their feelings are divided right now. I don't know if there's anybody else in the picture, but it seems like if that's not the case, there's a lot on their mind right now. There's a lot on their plate. The 3 of Coins shows somebody who's very busy, very industrious, working hard right now on something, whether it's school or whether it's work. Whether it's some other issues that they have to take care of. And the 7 of Cups is kind of like trying to sort out what it is exactly they want.
There's definitely a feeling like they have some tugs at their time and their attention, and that there may be limitations in terms of how much time they have on developing relationships. Like maybe they're just really focused on working at this time for some reason. But I also get the feeling too, like maybe there's just sort of an inner thing about them too that they're not really sure about. And so part of it is that they're also really grappling with some inner stuff that they don't totally understand either. And it probably doesn't really have anything to do with you or their feelings about you or about anybody. It just might be that there's something else going on the inside.
They may need to do some work on themselves.
I'm not really sure what that means because I haven't really applied it in this kind of a reading before. But I get the feeling like they have, like Banshee mentioned, some general conflicts with work or enterprises that they're trying to do, studying or something like that. And then there's this thing. It's not exactly a secret, except it sort of is. It's just some real inward part of
I don't really think it's a secret per se. This is just my opinion. I think it's though the fact that they are working on some issues, some insecurities or problems that they're having on how to express themselves. They are, really, they should be focusing on themselves right now is what it's telling me. And that's what I think is going on. They're not in a good frame of mind to really think about you right now. I have to say that. It may be there, but it's not the utmost thing on their minds.
Okay. And so we're going to throw a Lenormand. Again.
Do you know this person from maybe work or school or some kind of institution? I don't know why I'm getting this, but I do have the Tower, which is usually like an institution, a hospital, or some kind of corporation. It could be like an educational institution.
In other words, it's not really like a natural friendship where you meet them through other people, but because of a situation.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
And then because there's 2 ways I can read this, and then there's the bouquet. And what I'm thinking is, if this is about Lewis, he might be in line to get some kind of gift or award or something he's focusing on now whether it's school and grades, whether it's a promotion at a job. It sounds like there's something positive that's happening for him right now or will be soon. And I think the focus is there.
So if the idea is that maybe if you thought that there was no feelings, or if you could not really read them, or felt there was, a non-relationship there, it's mostly because he's just thinking about something else. It's not that he's not thinking of you, it's that he's thinking more of something else, and it looks very goal-oriented in a way.
Yeah, it's interesting because you asked the question, and I am not picking up what he's feeling towards you. I just feel that he's distracted.
Yeah,
and
he's got things going on.
It's not your fault. It's just that he has a lot of stuff going on right now is what I'm seeing.
Well, okay then. I hope that gave some amount of an
I know.
answer.
I would say maybe try again, maybe at the end of this month, ask that same question. But right now, or maybe early in January, I'm not seeing anything, specific. And like I said, it's not, he's just distracted. That's what I really think it is, by something else.
Alrighty.
Okay. Hey, Vicky, you are up.
Vicky, if you're still hanging with us.
Oh, yes, she is. I see her there. Just got to get a question to us.
A time frame for when a person of the past will be in touch with you. How do we do that? I know we've talked about that a little bit.
Time frames are tricky.
Yeah, they are tricky.
Let's throw 3. I think we've done it with 3 before, and we're looking for a pattern.
Go ahead and shuffle. Well, we'll try it. There's just more variation with that. Sometimes it's one of those things that maybe as a couple we haven't figured that out yet, because a lot of times when I do my own personal readings, I do get a vague feel of a time, but when I'm trying to correlate that with somebody else, it doesn't seem to work that way. Like I have to figure out a specific way of asking for that.
Well, yeah, and it's really kind of nebulous with the tarot to predict time frame. When I'm a little bit more adept as I'm growing with my knowledge of the Lenormand, there are cards there that often can tell me a little bit about timing. I want to study that a little bit more. But in the meantime, I'm planning on getting a deck of cards that's come out recently. Can't think of the name of it, but it might just be called something time cards, something like that. And they're literally used for that purpose, to do timing readings. So we might be able to get more from that, combining that with a tarot reading. But let's see what we get for you, Vicky. We're really to give it a shot here.
Yeah, we like a challenge, Vicky. We're really proud of the fact that so many people have viewed our videos on Brexit. It may not be interesting to...
We know that Britain is...
Everyone.
The UK is very divided on the issue. We didn't want to take any particular side. But, we asked questions where the cards were going to lean to one side or the other. And you know that a lot of people are not going to be very happy with it. But I have to say, it looks like our last prediction held out for the way this election was going to go. Okay, because the election in Britain is today. All right.
Well, it's sort of, in a way, just from a time frame thing that I feel, not like because I look at the cards and say, this card means seasons, this card means that. But what I feel is like there sort of is a sense that this could happen sooner than later. The qualities I'm feeling, though, is like everything's just in place. The Two of Wands says things are in place. It's just a matter of it happening. But then you have this Devil card, which is sort of like the card of a temptation. And so maybe this is saying to me that this is more likely to happen if you give in somehow, in some way, if you sort of advance the notion somehow. And then I know you're dying to say something here. And then the Five of Wands, to me, just acts like a lot of wild energy of people running around. And so that's telling me that there's something that can hit this off. There's something that can hit it off in a way. It may just be hitting the right persons or energies somehow, asking the right questions.
All right, so the person from the past. So basically, he's right about the Two of Wands. I don't have too much to add to that, other than the fact that the Two of Wands, is also, it's a two. There's a duality thing here going, and that's good. So it does sound like there's going to be a connection being made, some networking perhaps going on. The Devil, I'm looking at a little bit differently from the way Mr. O did. I do sense that maybe there's just a few little glitchy hang-ups. It could be somebody is not feeling well at the moment. It could be a slight sick spell. It could be some issues that they're dealing with right now, personal issues or work-related issues are tying them down. They're kind of, they're kind of blocked right now because something's getting in the way and interfering and holding them back. And then the Five of Wands, to me, reversed, is saying that something is going to open up and happen. Usually when that
it's that wild energy thing.
Yeah, but it's reversed, and I sense that that eases a little bit. So I do think that makes things a lot smoother. It just seems like whatever's going on with this person right now, I think it's them and not you. They have to get through this before they will get in touch. And I would say probably within 3 weeks to, I'm going to go with 3 here, 3 weeks to 3 months, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why either, but I think it's going to be maybe right around New Year's or sometime after that, within the first, month or so after that. So more or less like you say that, and as I think more about what you said about the Devil card, I realize that too, that's really almost anything could really happen except for the fact that he's the one that's kind of dragging, and maybe there's something attaching him to his work or some other situations. Maybe there's just some other things he's got to do, but he seems like he's being more drawn to that. And so that's why I felt that the Five of Wands says you're going to have to keep trying to kick it up, which you are saying you're doing, though, but he's the one who's really quiet. So he's kind of a puzzle there, isn't he? He sort of seems resistant in a way. So I don't know what to tell you, because I sort of feel like there's something there.
Lives
there's
at
a foundation
distance.
there.
So the distance might be a factor. Just being able to, get the time might be a factor.
Is he a Capricorn or a Taurus or somebody stubborn like that, an earth sign? Look at my beautiful
Hey,
sun
Butterfly A, I'll add you to the list. Not a problem. And we're moving along, so you won't be too long. After the one we're doing right now, Butterfly, you'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll be the 4th person, and it's possible that one of the people in between is not with us anymore. So hang in there.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good here.
Aries. Oh,
okay.
Taurus.
He might be close to the cusp, or sometimes when, no matter what.
Guess who's close to the cusp? I see, because I'm born like literally an hour before the sun went into Taurus on April 19th.
Well, when you think about it, the faster moving planets have a lot to do with your personality and some of your characteristics. And those are Venus, Mercury, Mars, because they're closer to the sun like we are, whereas Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto move really slowly, and those things are more generational. But anyways, so that Mercury, that Mars, that Venus, it influences a lot of your personality, and it's usually close to your sign or one of the signs one way or the other, so it could be that he has those planets in Taurus, and that's going to magnify some of those Taurus traits there, as opposed to the Aries ones. Anyways, what do you got?
Well, Vicky,
Mousy.
I've got those dreaded mice. We'll talk about that in a second. And I've got the dreaded cross, which often is grief or some kind of closure. These two together are not a great combination. And so I'm wondering here if there's something he has to cut ties with in order to finally feel free enough to contact you. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but also it seems like he's got to cut some losses, if that makes sense to you too.
Yeah, and I don't read Lenormand, but what I'm feeling is like there's an issue with him wanting to give up something that he has this sort of. Sonny's trying to grab my arm here. Needy quality about something, and then this is the. Is that a path or what is that?
Well, it's the main
a
part of this
crossroads.
is the cross. It's the cross itself.
So it's like sort of like really hard for him to bear that, I guess. He's
Right.
That's a struggle mentally, or at least otherwise. And I'm seeing what you're saying there too about time framing, Tanya, and I know a little bit about that. So having said that, because that reading had more wands, I would say that, like we said, it probably is a matter of weeks. So that's good information. And sometimes I can work with that and sometimes I can't. But thank you for offering that.
I have seen that too. Yeah, I have. And so again, and actually, so see, timing wise for this doesn't sound very good to me. It sounds like it would take a little bit longer for things to materialize here,
This is
for
more like
this
6,
encounter.
7 weeks, maybe 8
Well,
more.
I'm at least thinking the 3 months I suggested.
Well, that is a number of weeks then, yeah.
So I'm wondering, just because of the way this turned up, it's not a good combination of cards, really. So I don't know what they might be dealing with, whether they're in a relationship right now that they're trying to find closure from, or if it's something else in their lives they're trying to finish, be done with something. Something that has actually been a drain on them, because that's what the mice are about. Okay, I'm going to move on.
Who are we asking
And okay, thanks, Vicky. Thanks for joining us again. I hope
are
that
welcome.
helped. And let's see. Yes, look at that paw. And hey, Brittany, you are up.
for? Oh, it's Brittany's turn. Okay.
It's Brittany's turn. And also after Brittany is Josephine, Miss Yana, if they've returned. Wait, Miss Yana had her reading.
Yeah,
I'm
we just
sorry.
had that reading. It
Yep.
was Josephine and
Jakari.
Jakari. Yeah.
Yes, so it'd be Brittany, Josephine, Jakari, and Butterfly.
Okay, so Brittany's next. Any info on the future hubby coming in, like time frame? And we're going to do the mermaid.
The mermaid deck, absolutely.
Okay, and what will he be like?
What will he be like?
Not a mermaid.
Well, okay, we'll look at the cards and we'll see if any kind of timing thing shoots out at us. I do like the time frame that, was it Tana that mentioned it?
Yes.
Yeah, Tana, that was
Lines are
very good.
weeks, right.
And I did see
We
that
talked
in
a little bit about that before.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think it was in Mary Kay Greer's book, or somebody else's that I saw that in. And you're welcome, Vicky. We'll just see what the cards hold, next time. It's possible, by the time you have another reading, maybe not Sundays, but in a week or two, that, some of the energies for that person will shift and change. Here you go, shuffle. That's why I caution people, when you're asking your questions, try not to ask the same question like every live stream. I don't think people have been doing that per se. But when you do that, the energies start to get really muddled, and you might get crossed answers. And we don't want to see that. You should give it time to vegetate and, come back and ask it, a couple weeks down the road. And maybe ask something related but different, because, you can really muck up the streams that way with tarot. It doesn't work very well when you do things like that. Because goodness knows, I must have asked 1,000,000 times, am I going to win $1 million in the lottery? And
How do you want me to cut?
well, not
Over
on
here?
him. Yeah.
And do you know what kind of reading, how we're doing the reading?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a minute. So, and what's that? Okay.
Another
Okay.
wand.
Well, I think, for better or worse, can I say, something is coming. And it's probably going to be sooner than not because you have the wand cards here. You have, but some of them are worrisome to me. One is the 10 of Wands upright. We had that earlier. One is the Ace of Wands reversed. And then the other one is the Four of Swords reversed. Now, the Four of Swords reversed, well, I don't know why I'm starting there. The 10 of Wands reverse upright is kind of burdens and carrying a heavy load.
Obligations.
There's obligations. There's things that are maybe getting in the way of you meeting this person right now. And so the Ace of Wands is indicative of like false starts. Like maybe something seems like it's going to happen or develop and then it doesn't. That's what I'm getting from that. But yet the Four of Wands and the Four of Wands reversed.
Swords.
Oh, it's swords. Thank you. You know, I saw the W there and I
yeah.
thought it was wands. I didn't pay attention to the S. So the Four of Swords reversed is a card of movement and things happening.
It's kind of return to activity. It's movement after having been not moving.
So I think it's going to be a little while, but it's not going to, because the wands are a quick card, but I think that because of this other influence here, it may take a little time.
Well, in describing the possibility of what that person could be like, they might be older and they might have some other responsibilities that don't exactly match with your life. So you may be looking at that and wondering, I mean, this may not necessarily be that kind of person for you because it seems like maybe they've already been engaged in life and now they're sort of just renewing their interest in doing things after having had maybe they've raised another family or maybe they've had another career. And like I said, I sort of getting the feeling like this could be the person who's a little older than you. Having said that, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not qualified to be a husband, but they may just be bringing more to the picture of a previous life, some of that having responsibilities.
I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So are you indicating here that this could be somebody who's coming out of a relationship that may have children?
Possibly.
That's possibly what could be indicated here. And also, I do sense, Brittany, that this person could be a fire sign because you've got a lot of wand energy here. And so that's indicating to me one of the fire signs.
Now, I don't think that they're dramatically older than you, but I mean, I'm thinking like they're maybe 5-ish years, maybe a little more. And, enough time for them to have had maybe a child in another relationship, depending on, other factors.
And if it's not a child, it could be other responsibilities that are kind of burdensome. There are people who have to take care of aging relatives, whatever the case may be. There is something that is extra on their plate.
But at the same time, it does seem like this thing happening is probably developing sooner than not. I'm not saying it's definitely the person you would marry, but it does seem like there's a relationship there.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not picking up marriage here, but I'm picking
I'm not
up
exactly either.
Let me just see what the Lenormand says before I write that off completely. So I think something might happen or develop, but it is not going to turn into marriage. But let me see if I'm right.
Our other cats are pretty quiet tonight.
Okay.
Sooner than not mean? Well, we're thinking like maybe a couple of months.
I'd say a couple of months or less because...
But we're not feeling this is a serious marriage-minded relationship for you.
And I have the clouds and I have the bear. And I would just say don't get down on yourself through all of this. I think this is really about you here and your own personal power and your sense of self. And don't get discouraged, don't get depressed, especially if it's a relationship that, starts up and, seems like it might be okay, but then it's not. Uh, Things will improve. But I sense that this is a situation where you could get down on yourself, and don't do that.
Yeah, it's more about being true to yourself, and I think you know what that is. You just have to, think about it a little bit. It is possible that this thing that we see coming in the next few months is a diversion. It may not be exactly what you want, and you're just going to have to realize that for yourself. But if you keep in mind that you really are the person who should be in charge of that, that's basically what it is. And you might have to think about, approaching this later in the year or later than that. You're always welcome to ask us a question again. I just don't think that what you're asking is specifically very near. It's probably a little bit further off.
Well, I don't know, but I think cards aside, I think that it's telling me this is time for you to, if this relationship comes to pass, it is not the greatest thing in the world. What it might be revealing to you, though, you might have to go through this. I'm just getting this sense to maybe better determine just what you really are looking for in life. And this might make things a lot clearer to you, once the fog and the clouds dissipate. That's what I'm sensing.
Okay.
Well, I wish I had better news than that, Brittany, but right now,
Tarot is always like a snapshot in time,
Yep.
and it just could be that right now that's what the cards are indicating, but it doesn't mean that if you came back in a week, it would be exactly the same, or if you came back in a month, it might not be different. So it's one of those things to think about.
And the other thing is to maybe reframe the question next time in another angle about, love and relationships. What do I need to do to prepare myself for a new relationship? And when is it coming? Just something else. Maybe not focusing on the other person so much, but focusing on the self. Just giving you some ideas. And I'm going to move on and see.
Absolutely, Vicky. You can always come any show and ask. And as far as that
Yeah,
goes,
absolutely.
Masonic, I don't know.
What did Masonic say?
What other spiritual gifts? Spiritual lasagna?
Well, I can give it a shot to interpret dreams for people.
Yeah, things like that.
I have just other intuitive abilities for myself that is just very uncanny. I do feel that, I am
You
a
are welcome.
really uncanny judge of character. And it gets me in trouble a lot, in the workplace and other places, because 9 times out of 10, I'm right about somebody. And so I'm not boasting really when I say this because, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes. I also think I can read people's motivations, and I've done this on a number of occasions recently successfully. I've literally heard one thing out of their mouths and then I extrapolated where it was going to go next, and I was right every time. So I especially with people in front of me, I feel like instead of, how people can see an aura around people, colors and stuff, I don't do that. But what I think I am doing is I'm feeling that aura. I can kind of feel the energy from another person. That's how I would describe it. And when I make connections with people, I don't know if it's because of my empathic abilities, even like online here, those connections tend to get stronger in time. So some of you guys, the more you come back and the more I get to know you, the cards it's going to be reflected in how I read for you.
All right.
Scary, huh?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I think empathy and intuitiveness is pretty much, the sum of our totals, and it takes different forms. Sometimes I vibe off of auras. I actually can see auras, but I have to concentrate a little bit, and it's not exactly a full-bodied kind of thing. It's just more subtle. I can kind of see a little shine of color around a person, and
You've done a little psychometry before, though,
I've done a
haven't
little
you?
psychometry in relationship to working with tarot cards too, though. So
And here's another real maddening ability of his. He can predict the birth of a child, what sex they're going to be. I know a lot of
Wow.
people find out in advance now, but he's done it through tarot and just through intuitive. And more often than not, he's right.
Already.
Definitely
So-
more than 50-50 for sure.
Alrighty, so what do we need?
So we are on, okay, Josephine has not answered. I didn't know if Josephine came back in the room or not, but she is not here.
Yeah, we had a few people leave. Masonic may be leaving. And
So I'm going to
Vicky.
try one more time for Jakari. Jakari, have you come back? If you're back, it's your time right now. And if I don't hear from you in a second, we'll move on to Butterfly.
So yeah, hang in there. Probably it's pretty safe. We're down to 4 now. So,
Yeah.
let's go ahead, Butterfly.
Oh, we have Chocolate Love.
List
The
is
list
not
is
closed.
not closed. We will put you on. Actually, we have some room today, so some people have left the room. So, Jakari, are you here? I'll just do it one more time. I see your question, Butterfly, and we will get started with you because I think Jakari's not here. So, Chocolate, after we are done with Butterfly, you're next.
Oh, wow. Alrighty then. Is that a straightforward yes or no?
I am looking at that. Hold on one second. Yes, let's do a yes/no on that.
Have you already met the person you're supposed to be with?
That's a good question because sometimes they're right there and
Things
you may
develop,
not even
things
know
change,
it.
right?
Yep.
That has actually happened. Certainly happens in the soap operas.
Too much in the soap operas.
All right, your turn to shuffle.
Okay, I gotta slide the cat. There, no, you gotta give me room.
So yes, we are the 2 tarot cards are better than 1. Plus we have 1 to 3 cats that may drop in and hang out with us.
2 cards plus a cat are better than 2 card readers
He says,
plus
you're
a cat
talking
are
about
better than
me. I
one.
know you are talking about me. There's the sunny can.
We'll put Sunny on the camera while I shuffle.
You're such a sweet little guy, you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Help us out with our reading.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm sipping on Coke.
And I have lemonade. I've had iced tea a lot lately, though, so every so often I actually like lemonade more or hot tea than iced tea, but I do like iced tea on occasion. And I like sweet tea.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, I'm going to go first and say that probably you most likely have not met the person you're supposed to be with. You do have 1 ace, so it's slightly possible, but probably not. Probably not is probably that. You also have the 3 of Wands reversed. And to me, that sort of indicates that it will take more time. That maybe things just aren't really right for you to find Mr. Right. You also have the 6 of Cups reversed too, and this may indicate too that, in my mind a little bit, that maybe there are some things that are tying you to the past a little bit, and you have to kind of work through some of those issues. You know, it might be past relationships, it just might be some turmoil of the past, and you need to resolve that a little bit.
Yeah. I'm sensing, that this is definitely not in the cards. You have not met this person yet. That is not to say you won't. But the 3 of Wands almost is indicative of a false start or maybe something that did not work out well in the past. And I don't know if that's the problem here. It seems as though with the Six of Cups reversed, I like what Mr. O said. It seems like you have to cut ties with something in the past. Let it go completely and open yourself up to receiving this person that you are meant to be with. Because right now, I don't think that person is showing up in the cards here at all. It just seems like maybe there's been a few false starts. There's even been some people that you might have been looking at in your current environment and thinking, is that the one? I don't think so.
Yeah, it could be some false starts here. So you probably need to just kind of meditate on it a little bit more. But we're going to do another Lenormand and
Hey,
see.
lady, you absolutely can get on the list. Welcome.
Yeah, I told
And it's
them
not
that
a
they might
long
be,
list anymore.
they might actually have only one.
I'll let you know in a few minutes where we're at. We're going to finish up with Butterfly here. So I wish I had better news, Butterfly. Could it be with other people?
Thank you, Lainey.
What do you mean by could it be with other people? Was that she asked that question, Butterfly?
I'm not sure.
Was it something I said or something Mr. O said?
You mean that?
Oh, when you meet him.
That's when that moment happens, of either twin flame soulmate, that kind of thing. We are empathic and somewhat psychic. We're not drop dead psychic, Eleni.
I have the woman card, which I believe is
Time-wise.
reflective of you, and I have the book. And I'm going to say, the answer is still out there. The book is like you're still seeking that knowledge of who this is. You still have to discover this person. This person is not a part of your life yet. I'm really
That's
getting more
probably what
convinced
it's
of
really
that
saying
than ever.
So you're wondering if there'll be a time soon, maybe, when you might meet them?
Well,
it doesn't look that way right
really,
at the
because
moment.
you had the wands reversed and the cups. I think it's not going to be. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say it's not going to be next year, but I'm going to say it's definitely not going to be within the next 3 months. And I'll tell you what, I think, as we're getting closer to New Year, we're going to try to devote one of our live streams to projecting into 2020 for everybody. And maybe we'll see what comes up for you as far as relationships go in that reading. So stay tuned. I'm not sure what day we're going to do it on yet, but it's got to be probably the week between Christmas and New Year when we're all interested in what 2020 is going to bring us.
And just as a small reminder, every Friday I post a pre-recorded 1 week scan.
I will add you.
It's a 1 week scan for the emotional exchanges of the week, so it may tell you things about the ups and downs between relationships or other emotional situations. So those usually premiere around 9 o'clock on Friday mornings.
Yes. I just wanted to say Fem82, I think, will be the last person we will add tonight. Right. That's because, it's only 3 people, but we're in our last half hour now, so I want to make sure we get everybody. So anybody who comes in, I can write their name down, but they won't be guaranteed a reading. So I hope that, I'm sorry I didn't have better news for you either, Butterfly. It's just what the cards are depicting right now. Like I said, in a couple weeks.
I would come back in a week or two and ask us again, maybe. Yeah.
Well, or like I said, maybe ask what 2020 brings when we do those readings, and we'll see what's going to happen for you in 2020. Hey, Chocolate, you are up. And after Chocolate is Eleni, and then Fem82.
All right, Chocolate Love, we want to hear from you, so tell us what's going on. Any new love in 2020, if so, beginning or end of the year?
I was going to use mine. Can we use my...
Mermaids again, or what? All right.
My Cyril Marchetti deck.
So, Chocolate Love, we are going to read with another deck, the Cyril Marchetti.
Oh, no, Smiling Soul. I'm going to put you down for one, Smiling. Hopefully
you are the very last one, probably.
Yeah, because I'm just about to close the list. But it's okay. We have only 3 in front of you, Smiling Soul, counting the one we're doing right now for Chocolate. Yeah, this is more of a regular tarot deck. It's Cyril Marchetti's Tarot of Dreams.
That's okay, smiling soul. We're good to see you.
Okay. Let's throw 3 on it. Let's not do a yes/no on this one. Let's see.
Yes. Sounds good. The basic idea is what new love prospects
Well, basically, if there's a new, what
new
new love
love,
prospects, and if
and
so,
beginning
when.
or end of the year
Yeah.
when kind of thing. Okay.
We'll see what we can get on the timing factor. Wow.
What's that?
It's the 7 of Wands reversed that he just dropped. And I would just say to that chocolate, just make sure you're ready for whatever's coming your way in 2020. Make sure you
Stand
yourself,
your ground.
well, make sure you are ready because it was reversed. So it shows that maybe you won't be quite prepared for what's going to hit you in 2020. Maybe it's going to be a year of no relationships and you won't like that very much. Let's just see. This cat. It's like, I'm going to take up all the space where you lay the cards. What's that one? Whoa!
Okay, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all major arcana.
They are all major arcana cards, Chocolate. Well,
Okay.
and they all have some major implications here. This one is the Star. Am I getting it in the camera? The
Yeah.
Star reversed.
That might work better.
That might be better. And then Death. It seems. Oh, there it is. Death upright. Don't get alarmed by that. Maybe be more alarmed by this one. It's the Devil upright. So what do I see for you in 2020? I think there's possible, if you're looking for a relationship, if nothing's been happening, I think that could definitely change for you. But it is showing you maybe starting the year out with a little bit of pessimism and doubt and maybe being a little bit hard on yourself. Don't do that. Just keep forging ahead. Change is going to happen. And you are going to be very, very, I would like to say, tempted by somebody, some relationship, but there might be overtones of an obsession here. So I want to make that caution out there that you might either encounter somebody who could have a little bit of a possessive streak about them, be obsessive about the relationship, and you might want them to hey, back off a little bit and give you some room or space. But something is definitely shaken. Something is happening.
Well, some of those cards do sound scorpionic. I ought to know. I'm a Scorpio myself. And Scorpios tend to think that a relationship is all about intensity, and it isn't necessarily true. But what I also feel correlates with what Banshee says. I think something will come along, and I think it will have an intensity, and that intensity may cause you to question where that kind of relationship would go. It might be that the first part of the relationship is just really getting to know each other and feeling comfortable, and you're not necessarily feeling like you are going to move towards a goalpost. You want to give it a little bit of time there, but then you may feel like, if you examine that intensity and say, well, is it going to level off? Is it going to turn into mature, responsibilities as the relationship moves forward or not? So the thing is that you'll want to watch for it. It's not to say that it can't happen, but you'll want to be open-minded about those possibilities.
Okay. So I don't know if this is going to say anything about timing. I have the letter here.
My baby wrote me a letter.
And I have the sun. Let the sunshine in. So some news you get is going to be very uplifting and possibly lead to this new romance. Now, with a letter card these days, I think of not just written communications in letter form, but obviously social media, the internet, connections there. could possibly lead to something or something that puts you in a particular direction or frame of mind. It's hard for me to say when this is going to happen in the next year, but I will say this because you have all those major arcana cards. It seems like the relationship is going to be a major theme for you in 2020.
Yeah, probably it will be for most of the year. Certainly it will end that way. I don't know if it starts off that way. I think it kind of moves that way.
Right. I don't think it's going to start off that way right away because
I think you'll move into that.
that's why I kind of, with the star card reversed here, I'm sensing that you're starting off, the year, maybe the
welcome,
first
Sienna.
month or two as being like, oh man, same old, same old. But then it's going to shift and change.
So that's the sun?
Yes.
Okay, right. And I also feel too that what that tells me maybe is that the way you meet this person is by some party or social event you go to. You get an invitation. Somebody says, hey, let's go to this. And you go to that. And I get the feeling like you will meet that person there.
You know what? That's the pagan Lenormand, and that's the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's shines through when?
The solstice.
The solstices. So I'm wondering if something's really going to heat up by summer solstice.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm thinking. It's more likely to happen in the summertime than in this colder time of the year or
Yeah.
even in the spring. But I do think something's coming, and you heard that. Very cool. So I hope that works out. You'll have to let us know, I guess, eh?
You'll have to let us know, absolutely.
We're curious.
And thanks for joining us today, Chocolate. Feel free
All
to
right.
join again and subscribe. And hey, Eleni, you're up.
Eleni is up.
I
You are
wanted to
welcome.
comment on Masonic. Masonic, that is not completely true. Jay Walker asked about makeup today. So there was somebody asking something other than a love question.
And when he doesn't do that, he asks about his grandma's dogs and things like that too. So there you go. I love Dionne Warwick. And then I like what some people do to some of the songs that she has written too. So I'm a little bit odd that way.
Oh no, it's an Aries Virgo union.
Oh,
I'm an Aries too. I've never had good relations with Virgo men. I hope there's none out here. I apologize if there are, but
well, I have to be nice. My sister's a Virgo, and so is one of my closest coworkers.
Oh, I did say men.
The female is deadlier in the species, they claim. All right, so the question
You're
is,
using yours. Sorry.
how does David feel about you or us as a couple?
Okay, well, let me see if my reading might work for that one. Are you a couple now? You are a couple now, then, is what you're indicating, right? Let's see, where is that?
I'm doing a good shuffle here, aren't I?
Shuffle away. Okay, I guess since you're asking about that particular person and how they feel about you and you guys as a couple, I'm going to put this in the context of
Scroll down.
David. I've got it. The context of David. So basically, the first card, did I shuffle these? No. The first card is David's feelings about love with you and the relationship, the current situation as it stands right now, and what the next steps are in the relationship. Let's try that one.
So you're basically a couple, except in words or in title. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
All right. So the first one was how David feels.
There. Look at that.
There he goes.
Sunny Cam.
Let go of mommy.
Won't let me go.
Let go of Madam Banshee.
He's got my shirt in his mouth. He did this once before. He's trying to tell
Oh my
me
goodness.
something.
Okay, so we're doing 3 cards?
Yes. Don't be mean. Why are you being mean?
And we have a similar card, slightly different.
You know.
We have the Seven of Cups reversed was the first card. So that's kind of focusing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So feelings about love and relationships. It seems as though uh, definitely seems to be focusing more in that direction, I think, or at least trying to refine his focus. Whether that's with you or someone else, I'm not certain yet, but I'm sensing that he's trying to get more focused about, giving attention to somebody.
Right. And I think it's you, of course. And I think that he's moving from a position where maybe he just was kind of letting some of the stuff swirl around him. And now something's more coalescing. He's focusing. He's starting to have those feelings.
The second card is indicative of the current situation, the Four of Cups reversed. Maybe coming out of a state of, contemplation and moving closer, I think. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so too. He's made a choice. He has made a choice. Even if he has not verbalized that as such to you, in his mind or in his heart, he's made that choice. In his spirit, it feels like it's more of a spiritual quality to some degree.
The next steps in the present relationship kind of befuddle me. I'm going to let you take that one because I want to see what you're going to say.
The next steps in a relationship?
Yeah, where things are headed.
I think he has a really strong emphasis on security. You said he's a Virgo. Virgos really have a strong sense of security. And although the card often talks about a person who lives alone in comfort, the idea is that he would live alone with you in comfort. And I don't remember the exactitudes, like if he has children or if you have children from any previous relationships, but I get the feeling like children are not necessarily what's going to happen for you. It's really more about the relationship and where you build it, the other qualities of your life that you build together.
I get the feeling that I don't know, when I look at that card I'm a little puzzled because it is a card of a woman living on her own and comfortable. So I'm almost tempted to say that there's still going to be kind of a separation at this time. But I mean, it's a mutually beneficial separation. I think things are still developing and gelling. And it still may take a little more time before you actually truly connect on the level you might like to.
Well,
does that make sense?
It does. I'm extrapolating a little bit because I don't think that every tarot card fits exactly into modern life. And so
I agree.
Like women certainly live alone comfortably,
well, I'm
but
not
because
talking just,
the context of our question
right. I'm not just talking about the women there. I'm thinking the both of them. So I feel that they both might be kind of separate for a little bit. But I see your point as well. Okay. I thought you made a very good point about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So listen to what we're saying, and sometimes when we deviate a little bit here, the truth is what you know to be true, really. One of us is speaking to you directly, I think, more than the other, perhaps.
Well, the thing is that both of our opinions are valid, but sometimes the reality for you may be a synthesis of the two, or something else that it actually does inspire that might be different.
But let me say this about, and I got to draw the Lenormand for you, and we got to move on. But the thing is, because we've got three more people. Actually, no, 2 more people. So basically, I'm thinking, like he said, that something is happening, but it's still in the process of forming. It's not completely formed out yet. Oh, wow. I think he just wants to play. He's got a lot of energy here all of a sudden. He's been laying here with us for almost 2 hours now, and he gets a little feisty. Wow, okay, well, that's interesting. So I don't know if this person is working or at school.
David?
Yeah, I got the tower. The tower's been coming up a lot today. And I got the letter again. And so it's like...
is he expecting a job offer?
Yeah.
Or is he in the job pool? Is he trying to change positions or move ahead? Is he looking at a promotion? I get the feeling like when she pulled those cards, I immediately said, oh, he does have another brand in the fire. He has something else going on. Is he an inventor sort? Has he got something going with that? Does he have an idea and he's trying to get a patent, or he's working with
He's
somebody?
working. Okay.
Okay.
I sense something's just coming about his work that's
Yeah.
important to him. And, maybe this will help him. I mean, maybe it'll take a load off his mind. It sounds like it's, they're kind of neutral cards here. It really is hard for me to say if this is positive or negative. And so I sense that he's kind of preoccupied with this right now as well, or will be soon. But
Smiling Soul, I wanted to address that for a moment because I think we have the most wonderful cats in the world, and they often sit on the table, which is okay. They never sit on the table when we're eating, or if they try to,
Yeah.
they quickly find out that they are not supposed to, and they're pretty good about that. When they were kittens, they would occasionally try to, just off behind me here is a little tower for them, and they would occasionally try to jump off of the tower onto the table, and we kind of put a stop to that. Now that they're larger,
And
they don't
just
like
up
that.
here is a chandelier, and I still have one cat that likes to bat at it, bad kitty. But at any rate,
They're
the one
mostly
thing
really
about the
good.
cats that the reason they can climb on tables is, yeah, our house is messy at times and the floors, but they're not outdoor cats. We do not let our cats go outdoors. So they're not bringing anything from the outside in, which is a good thing. So we don't have those kind of germs and bacterias going on. And it's hard to stop them, frankly. It really is hard to stop them. Anybody who has cats knows. But anyway, so let's see. We are done with you, Eleni. I hope that helped a
Right.
little bit. And we are moving on to Femme 82. And then after Femme 82, I believe it's Smiling Soul.
Soul. All right.
Yeah, it's not healthy to let cats out anymore. The world is such a crazy place. Some cities now have coyotes running around, and when the cats attack birds, it's not good for the bird population. I understand when people live on farms and open spaces to let their cats out, but here it just really doesn't make sense. There's too many dangers for them out there. Run over by a car, it would be terrible. We would feel so horrible. So nope, we do not let our animals out.
All three of our cats are from the same litter. They're siblings. They're litter mates. And when they
You're
were
welcome,
kittens, they were quite close. They're a little bit more separate now, and they each have their space and time. And I see Femme 82 has our
Yes,
question.
that's a yes, no, and let's use my deck.
Okay. And I'm going to look at the red on the table here and visualize a little bit red. Whoever that person is, whoever you are. In a perfect world, they could live outdoors too, but
They
this
could.
isn't a perfect world.
No. And there are people who actually torture cats and stuff. I would
I don't want to
not.
think about that.
I don't want to, I hate to bring it up, but it's true. And so we have a black cat, and people and their superstitions about black cats. So it would just not be safe in the world today. I just think people take a real risk to let their cats out. I know somebody at work who let his cat out all the time, and his little daughter got very depressed when the young cat, died suddenly. And my guess is it got poisoned or it ate something it shouldn't have out there. He suspects it was poisoned. And, they got another cat and they're letting that one out too. And I just said to him, I says, why do you want to put your daughter through that again? You should keep the cat indoors. Yeah, and they love sitting by the windows. Absolutely. That's their favorite pastime. We have the big deck here. Not big deck, but the big windows for, our deck area, our slab, I should call it. And they sit there all the time and watch squirrels romping around, bunnies outside. They love it. The birds.
People with dogs.
Yep. Wow. Whoa. You know what? I have one thing to say to you, Femme 82, about this question. Yes, it's highly likely.
It says you will rekindle the connection relationship in the future. I personally feel it's probably going to happen fast. So I don't know if this is what you're feeling too, that the season is right. Sometimes people come together over the holidays, for various reasons, just because they really do care about each other and they're meant to be with each other. I strongly feel, however, this is supposed to happen, it will happen soon.
So let's explain this reading to Fem 82. I'm going to
Sure.
let you do that because you're new, and this is the way we do yes/no questions. Go ahead.
Right. We generally use this form of reading for the yes or no questions. It was taught to me personally as an oral tradition by somebody of the Wiccan persuasion a good 40 some years ago. It was a Dianic witch that I knew back then. And the method of reading is you think of the question or you think of it for your client or whoever. And as you shuffle the cards in, you cut them normally and all that kind of stuff. But what you want to do to find the answer is you deal the cards into 3 piles looking for an ace. And you have 4 aces in the whole suit to work with. And if you hit the ace, by the time you've hit card 13, you stop and you move to the next pile. And you repeat that procedure from each pile, counting no more than 13 cards. If you don't get an ace on the 13th, you stop there and you just go to the next pile. And so the interpretation is the amount of aces you have tells you how much of a chance of yes. So if you have 3 aces,
It's yes.
it says it's positively yes.
It's most likely
you
yes.
can infer how fast it might be depending on your vibe or whatever. If you have 2 aces, it's strongly leading to yes. It's a 66% or better. It's most likely yes. If you have 1 ace, it's maybe 1/3 or less.
Leaning towards no.
It's leaning towards no. If you have no aces, it looks like an absolute no. And that's pretty much how that reading works. Since the time that I learned it years ago orally from a person, I noticed that it did pop up in a couple of books somewhere in the last 10, 15, 20 years maybe. And I noticed it, and I don't remember who it was attributed to. So I don't know if it was just one of those readings that it was so good that people liked it so much that it eventually took form and ended up in a book. Like I said, Fem 82, I only read it or learned it from an actual person. It wasn't a book taught one. And I found it to be a really good reading. We've used it for many years, both of us. Anyway.
Well, and the thing is, when you only have 1 ace or 2 aces, then you have another card that gives you more information on the question as to why it's leaning to yes or no.
Right. The
yeah.
non-aces pretty much give that texture, that context.
So if you have no aces, you have the reasons why it's no. But when you have 3 aces, there's nothing there. I will say I've got some cards that are kind of ambiguous in the Lenormand to add to this. I have the Dreaded Cross card, which has to do with grieving and loss. I'll explain that in a minute. And then I have the Fish card, which is really about flow and finances and things. I don't know if one or both of, maybe one of you have lost a job or money or so have some issues lately. This might be factoring into into the matter in some way. There is, in other words, or if there may be because of the way you guys ended your situation in the past, it's hard reestablishing that connection and that flow because the fish are in water and they swim and they flow. So I'm kind of thinking it's leading me to think that it might be tied into how you may have cut ties with this person in the past and that it's hard to reestablish that connection again. But the fact that you got 3 aces in very few cards that we pulled.
It's really quick.
It seems like this person is going to come back in fairly soon.
Is it possible that somebody was lost in their life or in your life? Not necessarily a physical passing, but maybe a definite end break. Like maybe they really ended a relationship. I'm not suggesting that, of course, that this is a rebound of some sort, but that maybe something about their connection to you made them feel like they really needed to reach out to you, and that from there, that flow will continue. So I'm sort of thinking that's maybe the possibility of what it is that something that is more or less heart-rending is what is a key to possibly you finding your way back to each other. It may not be the nicest situation, but maybe it just shows that you really do have that connection and that you would always be there for each other, even if, it never forged to get into a full relationship. I
And
hope
that's what
that's
we
nice.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that helps. And that's pretty positive, pretty darn positive to me if that is what you are looking for. And so thanks for joining us. And I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Hey, Smiling Soul, we only have 5 minutes, but we'll go into overtime for you because you are our last one for the night. And so write your question, and maybe Mr. O, if you want to show some announcement screens.
Right, and I was just going to mention once again that on Sunday night we will be here later because I'm working during the day and I won't be able to be here. So our stream will be on at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so the same time as night. So we hope to see some of you back then, or tell your friends. You can always catch our reading of the day on Facebook and Twitter.
And other fun stuff.
And Banshee will have another installment of Soul Stories
Very soon.
somewhere in this month. We are going to also try to have, we haven't totally worked it out yet, but we are thinking of having some holiday offerings. We haven't totally worked that out, so some of those might be poetic like we did for the Halloween month. Or we might just have a simple candle lighting ceremony and some brief words about the season. So that'll just be in our special broadcast around that time. So we're going to get back with things. And what do we got?
What do you got, Smiling Soul? Oh. Is he single, and are we going to start communicating with each other? Okay.
Did you see the slight indentation on his hand where the ring should have been? Or was there a ring there? Maybe you didn't see it. I know, that sounds so phony baloney, like the soap operas or something like that. But anyway, because
a lot of people don't wear rings anymore.
Oberon, has never worn a ring for some reason or the other. There it is. See, no ring, no mark, no indentation. But I still love you, baby. No ring or not.
Did you shuffle? You did
not.
not. Shuffle them up. Okay, we're going to do some yes nos for you, Smiling Soul, which will close out the broadcast today.
Mr. O gives the sloppy, not so sloppy
I
kiss.
have a delay on my tablet to the stream, so I'm just seeing his hand in front of the camera now.
Okay, is this dude single, or did he just figure out how to score a lunch off of Smiling Soul?
Oh. Well,
he might be.
He might be. It's leaning towards yes, Smiling Soul.
There's a quality of maybe-ish, so it's maybe closer to 50-50. It is maybe-ish.
Sunny steps on the cards. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. And we have that's the Six of Cups reversed. And the Ace of Swords reversed. You know what I'm thinking here? When I look at these cards, I'm thinking that, yes, he may be single now, but was he always single? I mean, in other words, I'm wondering if he was married and divorced. I'm not sure, but that's a possibility here because I'm looking at that. Like there's some baggage from the past.
Yeah, I'm picking up the idea that he wasn't always single. He might be now. He might be married or with somebody else. He might have another interest, but it's not a marriage. But he was married before, I think. I'm getting that feeling, and I'm agreeing with Banshee that maybe there's a little bit of baggage there.
And if he wasn't married, he was in a really tight relationship that could have led to marriage.
Yeah, and he might still be suffering emotionally from that a little bit. So it may be that it might take him a while to be reactive and come out of his shell a little bit. But I get the feeling too, like maybe he felt that he really tried hard. Because I get the feeling there's a sense of a loyal personality here. It's nothing that I'm getting from the cards. It's just what I feel. Like there's a loyal personality, so he would want to be loyal to somebody, and if they didn't trust him that way, then maybe he carries some baggage from that.
So before we even do a Lenormand, let's answer your other question, which was, are you going to start communicating with each other? So let's throw a yes, no for that. Do you want to use your cards for that? Let's
Yeah.
mix it up and see if we get the same results. And then I'll just grab a couple Lenormand and see what they say. And you will close out our night. Because I think everybody else is gone, pretty much. Do you have your tablet on?
Yeah, and I haven't even looked at it in eons. I never bothered because you know what? I found out that I can scroll the screen here easily.
Okay.
Or at least tonight it worked.
Do I need to shuffle?
Oh, you did.
Ah.
Well, it's getting extra goodness. Yeah, I never even went into the chat room.
I don't quite remember that, but I do seem to remember that somebody was coming. Yes, I don't remember with a beard, maybe.
I sort of remember that.
Okay. Right there. Oh, Sonny. Boy, you were really kind of cranky tonight. Yes, no. Sonny is now laying on my tablet. Oh, that would be bad. He could have clicked on something that could have messed up my chat. This is really, I gotta come up with a different system with this cat. Well, I love him to death, but he does make me crazy sometimes, this guy.
Want to rephrase the question again for me?
Oh, where are they going to start communicating?
When or will they?
Just a minute. Oh, I lost my chat. Just a minute.
Yeah, I did too.
It's because he keeps getting it. Look at this. He won't let me do this. Sorry, Smiling Soul, having a little technical difficulty.
Is he single? Are we going to start communicating?
Yeah, okay. So it's about the communication part. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to happen immediately. You've got the Ace of Wands reversed here. That's one ace. You have the Four of Swords reversed. And
the Four of Cups upright.
Yeah.
And so to me, these are framing each other in the general equation here of that question. I get the feeling like maybe he's sort of moving back into activity. He's like reawakening, like maybe he was out of the picture for a while, i.e. what I said before about maybe he was married or he was in a bad relationship. But I also get the feeling too, like maybe he might be playing it loose and casual, like he might have a couple of people he's interested in. He might be more interested in casual dating, possibly, or he's not sure. He's just looking at what's out there. He's not ready to make any kind of choice in any matter, is what it sounds like.
Well, okay. I don't know why this card is coming up. You know what? I think it's almost talking about the communication aspect, Smiling Soul, because here's the Rider, and the Rider is about news or information, and here is the Cross, the card I've been getting a lot tonight, which is kind of a sad card. So I don't want to say this. It just seems like at least at present, communication is not going to happen. It's
I don't think it's impossible, but I just don't think it's very likely. Or it's going to be more casual.
More casual than anything deeper.
Because that's what I see with this, is that he's wanting to be more casual, not make a definitive decision yet. And it also feels like, too, like he's just sort of getting back into things a little bit.
Sunny is praying that our live stream will be over and we'll be giving him all of our undivided attention.
Yes, you are.
That's what he likes best.
So what were these ones again?
Well, like I said, this is News, the Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is The Cross again, which is grief and endings.
He might just need more time before.
That's true.
Yeah, so
That is true.
personally, I wouldn't, make it look like you're really, playing hard for him. I would play just a little bit more moderate, like you're more interested in being a friend first.
Because he may need that right now, actually.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, that's what we have. That's a way we're going to end the show tonight. And so I want to thank you who are left in the viewing room there for being with us today, and thank everybody else who's now gone. It was great. We got through everybody, and that's what we like. Of course, we did have some people leave the room. And when people do that, we move on and we get everybody in.
Well, we will be back again. We will be back on Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard
This
Time.
Sunday, 7 o'clock, because of somebody's work schedule.
But normally on Sundays, I'm here at 2 o'clock. And don't forget, tomorrow I'll have the emotional exchanges for all the signs for the week ahead, starting tomorrow, going through next Thursday. And that tells the ups or downs, what you can expect emotionally. Friday is the day of Venus, after all, so it's usually a good day to try to have this weekly reading. That'll premiere around 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I welcome your comments. I welcome your subscriptions.
And I have been posting holiday greeting poems I've done throughout the years on Twitter and Facebook for everybody. Through the December, through Christmas. So there are solstice and also Christmas greetings. And also twice a week, I'm posting my tarot haiku that I created for every card in the tarot deck. And we're on the minor arcana, the 3s now. So every Wednesday and Saturday, you can check that out on both Twitter and Facebook. And that's it.
And we love you all. We thank you for being here. We'll see you again.
Thanks, you all. Take care. We'll see you next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye-bye.